more like something that I would listen to. But I wasn't sure it was going to work together. I was mimicking a gardening program. I've never noticed that little beat at the start. Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Digging Around. As you can tell, I'm not at my allotment plot. I'm somewhere, I'm at home. I'm at home, but I promised you a bonus episode because I was unwell and I missed one of the episode drops. And I really don't want to be out of schedule. But also it feels like a commitment I've made to anyone who's subscribed and listened. I want to make sure you're getting regular content from me. So I thought I'd give you something a little different. I'm away from the plot. However, I want to take you behind the veil of this podcast. I want to show you that music you hear at the start of the episode. I want to show you how I put that together. Just as a little throwaway. We will get back to regular programming, don't you worry. But for now, I am not a producer. I am not a qualified music man. But this is how I made the theme tune to my very own podcast. When I was thinking of what I wanted it to sound like, I sort of thought, what is this podcast? This podcast, though it's set on an allotment plot, is not a gardening podcast, but rather gardening is the vehicle that is used to get people to open up and get people to talk. So in my head, I thought, right, it's not your traditional gardening podcast or gardening program, but I want it still to have the feel of, I want it to be gardening adjacent. So I started off by thinking, I want something that feels quintessentially like you're watching a quintessential British gardening program. And I'm actually going to take you through this file bit by bit. So let's start here. I had these strings. Now, for me, that had the vibes of, all right, cool, this very grand gardening, blah, blah, blah. But it felt too serious. And I sort of wanted it to sound like I was mimicking a gardening program. So what I did is I then transposed the strings by 3 semitones. And then this is what we ended up with. So we had the strings. I'm like, all right, cool. This is what I like the sound of that. And then I was like, cool. I want like a beat. I want some drums that make it sound a bit more me and a bit more like something that I would listen to. So then where is it? I found this on GarageBand. Let me just play it. And the reason why I like this is because it's got that sort of da 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 da. It like, for me, it gave like dancing vibes. Like you're out and you listen to something and you're just you're just having a little dance or something. So when you put the two together, we end up with. And for me, why I like that is because that's exactly the juxtaposition I wanted. I wanted that quintessential feel and like the quintessential gardening feel and a bit of me. But for me, the drums were missing something in particular. I needed it to sound a bit more, I don't know how to describe it. It sounded like the skeleton of the instrumental, but there was a bit of feeling that was missing. So then I came across this. Let me play it. And I like this because for me, it is your classic hip hop beat. But I wasn't sure it was going to work together. And I made it very, on my file. It's only very slight. You can only hear it if you're paying attention. So if we put all those 3 together, we get. Can you hear it just in the background? All right, cool. Okay, cool. So then, where did I go after this? It's been so long since I made this. That was it. So I wanted to play on that vibe of, again, not mimicking a traditional gardening sort of vibe, but I really wanted it to feel disrupted. Like, we're about to get gardening and it's like, no, we're not, we're getting this. So I wanted to find, you know how sometimes you watch a video and it's like, then record, and that kind of vibe. So I wanted something that felt like that. So I found this. Let me play you this. Where is it? Oh, here. And for me, that is the perfect sort of, it sets you up to, I can imagine you're watching like a proper, again, quintessentially British program, and it starts off with, and then a big orchestra comes and it's all, all that. But before we get there, I didn't want your classic record scratch. I wanted something that felt a bit cheeky, like, hey, I know this is gardening, but it's my style of gardening. So I added this little chime. I played the whole thing together. I love it because for me, it just adds that bit of cheek of like, hey, listen, what you're about to hear is a different vibe to what you've just heard, but it's all within the same spirit. So if I play you all those elements together, you've got the strings, you've got the other strings, you've got the drums, you've got the chime, and you've got that sort of hip-hoppy beat. You end up with... Now, I loved this when I made it, but I thought it's still missing something. There's one element of gardening that I haven't. I want it to feel like my plot, and this felt too grand. It felt as if I was at a gardening show. It was missing a little bit of intimacy. So what I decided to do was to go to my plot and record this, and it's ever so slight. You'll only hear it if you're paying attention. I recorded this. Just robin birdsong. These are robins from my allotment plot. I've never noticed that little beat at the start. I think I just hit the microphone. But yeah, I got robins from my actual allotment plot. And then when you mix it all together, you end up with this. And there you have it. That's how I made my very own theme tune to my podcast. Right, that's it for this little bonus episode. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I will be back on the plot. So keep listening, keep sharing, keep subscribing, keep loving, keep doing all of those things. And yeah, I'll see you soon, guys.